I simulated 10 seasons in F1 2021, and after weeks of simulating races, I've put the results together for you, and this is what happened. So, I don't want this video to be like 20 minutes long. I'm going to try to keep it that. I've already recorded this and it was so long, so I'm doing it again because I think it's too long. But let's just, obviously, as I said, not make this long and get straight into the first season. Quick disclaimer, this is not predictions, it's a simulation. I don't think this is going to happen. This is what the game predicted will happen, not me. I'm not responsible for this. If you love a certain driver and they are rubbish, still subscribe, okay? Because I might feel sad too. Think about that, hey? Disgusting. Right, Hamilton wins Season 1. Not a great surprise here. To be honest with you, not a lot goes on in this season because there's no regulation changes. There's nothing really that exciting. And it's kind of a bit generic. The only thing I would say is Alonso has a phenomenal season, finishing 6th, in the Alpine. Carlos Sainz has a kind of a lackluster season. Ferrari finished 5th in the Constructors, but Red Bull win the Constructors, not Mercedes. And Hamilton wins the championship. Ferrari fans, don't worry, it gets better. Mercedes fans, you're on top. Red Bull fans, it gets better. McLaren fans, it gets better. It gets better for everyone, really, other than Haas. No, I'm kidding. It's probably not even that bad for Haas. Quick look at the transfers. Raikkonen retires and Vettel retires. So filling Raikkonen's spot is Guan Yu Zhu, just like real life. Filling Vettel's spot is Russell from Williams. So that's an interesting step for George Russell, leaving a vacant seat at Williams. And that is filled by Callum Ilott, a driver who really does deserve a seat in F1 after a very good campaign in 2020 F2. As I said, keeping it quick. 2022, as you can see on the top left and right, I have circled, well, you can't really see at the moment, but for each championship a driver has, they get a gold ring around their picture. Same for the Constructors, so you can see there's one around Lewis, one around Red Bull, because they are the current holders of the championships. Not for Lewis, though, because he comes second in 2022 to Max Verstappen, who wins the Drivers' Championship, while Red Bull win the Constructors, making them two-time Constructors champions from the year 2021 onwards. Valtteri staying at Mercedes, does a decent job 4th, not enough for Mercedes. I tell you who does do better, Carlos Sainz beating Leclerc and pushing Ferrari back up to where they belong, into 3rd. Lando has kind of a poor season compared to your Ricciardo, you could say, which is why they do not claim the 3rd best spot. Williams also kind of poor, not from the new driver Ilott, from Latifi. Latifi finishes last. Ilott actually does okay, 17th. But you can see kind of throughout the table, Russell does very well. Alonso can't keep up with what he once did. And Alpine fall to 6th. The transfers for the next season include Alpine as Schumacher joins Alpine, pushing Ocon to AlphaTauri and pushing Tsunoda down to Haas, who looks very nice in a Haas suit, I must say. So let's go ahead and see what happened in 2023. Bosch. Max Verstappen, 2-time world champion. Boom, 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 boom. Get the pyro out, because Max, super Max. Red Bull cannot win the Constructors, though. Ferrari climb their way up. Leclerc and Sainz finishing 2nd and 3rd, respectively. And Ferrari are Constructors champions in 2023. Here's the big one for you. Mercedes. What? I mean, Lewis doesn't do bad. 4th. Valtteri? 12th? 12th? Lost to Lance Stroll, mate. Who actually did very well in an Aston Martin, which came 4th in the Constructors, with George Russell coming 8th. But sorry? Mercedes dropping off a cliff in 2023, Mercedes fans, I didn't say it was going to get better for you, because I tell you what, it doesn't. So I would understand if you stopped watching if you're a Mercedes fan and just probably support someone else, because it's not going to go well. Red Bull don't win the Constructors mainly down to Sergio Perez's badness. I'm good at words, you know me. Lando does better, beating Ricciardo, and there's a lot of transfers, so I'm just going to rattle through them. Perez, dropped by Red Bull, joins Mercedes, which means Russell joins Red Bull. What? Let's just move on, but what? Russell, Red Bull, crazy. Ilott takes his spot at Aston Martin, climbing his way up. Christian Lundgaard, rookie, joins Williams. Bottas retires, Alonso retires, and Ticktum joins Alpine for 2024. You can see the rings around the different icons. I think it's a lovely touch by yours truly. And we have a new world champion in 2024, Charles Leclerc. Ferrari have a world champion. And not just a world champion, a Constructors' Championship, obviously, because they won it last year. A 2-time Constructors' Championship, and a 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. A whitewash from Ferrari. Red Bull dropped to third, with George, realistically, let's not beat around the bush here, having a bad season. Lando and Daniel Ricciardo moving up, doing well. McLaren second for them. It's going to be a positive season. Not for Mercedes again. 7th and 8th for Hamilton and Perez, which really should be a very good driver pairing, but they're just rubbish. So that's quite funny. AlphaTauri doing well, actually. Ocon and Gasly is a pretty cool driver pairing. But in the interest of time, have a look at the rest of the table if you want to. I'm not going to gloss over it. Transfers, Hamilton retiring. 2024, we lose a great member of F1 history, and Tsunoda takes his place at Mercedes, who are on a massive decline, and it's funny. Deal with it, really. Have it. Aitken then takes his spot at Haas. For 2025, where Leclerc makes it 2, and Ferrari make it 3. Not as a whitewash this time. Verstappen hits back and beats Sainz. Russell does better and finishes 4th. But I mean, Ferrari, what a time to be alive for the Tifosi. McLaren again do pretty well, like 5th and 6th. It's not that quick of a car really, so you can't really fault them. But Mercedes go down again. What's going wrong there? Perez and Latifi, Perez and Tsunoda kind of been a bit rubbish. Perez isn't bad, Tsunoda is. And where are Williams in the Constructors? They're 6th. Why? Because Nicholas Latifi ate his Nutella. If you know, you know, but my God. Smashed it. 9th in a Williams. His teammate came 14th. Oi. What a performance from him. And Jack Aitken, the other new driver in their Haas, he's just doing Haas things, isn't he? Let's just let him be. For 2026, there will be no more Daniel Ricciardo. It will be a sad day when he retires. And supposedly it will be in 2025. Filling his spot on the McLaren is Mick Schumacher. Wow, great signing. Phenomenal driver pairing as well. Lando and Mick. Phenomenal. If that happens, that would be brilliant. And Mazepin joins Alpine. Schwartzman joins Haas for 2026, where we don't have any more Ferrari silverware. That goes to Red Bull, and not Verstappen, Russell. Russell wins the championship in 2026. Mercedes still rubbish. Let's not gloss over that too much. McLaren they're just sitting on the peripherals. They've been slowly climbing this whole time. Schumacher does well. Norris does well. It just cannot pierce that Ferrari and Red Bull title fight that's going on there. They get close because Sainz, let's be honest here, has a shocker, which is why he gets dropped for 2027, replaced by Pierre Gasly. What a signing again. A lot of amazing signings, I think. Gasly to Ferrari obviously was one on the thumbnail as well. That's a phenomenal signing. I'd love to see it. Personally, I'd love to see him as well succeed at Ferrari. So let's see what happens in 2027. Well, he doesn't quite win a championship. In fact, he doesn't even do phenomenally. He comes 6th and Ferrari come 3rd in the Constructors. But George Russell is a 2-time world champion. Wow, 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 wow. Red Bull have stolen Russell from Mercedes, and he's performing beyond belief, at the despair of Max Verstappen, really, because he's meant to be the golden boy and he's finishing third behind Lando Norris. See, now McLaren are working their way up in a title fight. Schumacher could have done better, but they finished second, and I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Again, I don't like to gloss over Mercedes' failures, but it is quite funny, and they end up signing Latifi after Perez retires, as you can see on the right. I mean, you can't write this stuff. Latifi to Mercedes, like, it's just phenomenal right there. Mercedes are clearly dropping down in the regulations, and Latifi is joining them. Toto Wolff is crying. I mean, there's no way he would still be there after this whole shambles. But Williams gained a pretty decent driver in Daruvala, I would say. So let's see what Williams can do in 2028. Also, quick thing, Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon, that's a pretty fun driver pairing. But 2028, we're nearing the finale. Lando Norris becomes champion of the world. I mean, that's fun to say. It's just fun to say, really, isn't it? Puts a smile on your face, don't you think? Not only does he become world champion, McLaren become constructors world champions, ending the reign of Ferrari and Red Bull. You can see how many rings they've got round them on the top right. But 2 brand new champions, Norris and McLaren. Verstappen finally beats Russell again, but it's not good enough to take the championship because Schumacher does very well in 4th. And I feel like that's just the perfect driver pairing. Schumacher knows he's a second driver, but he's still young. And Norris, teach him a bit. Now Norris is probably quite old. What is he going to be like? 29, 30 these days. Quite experienced. And so it's a perfect driver pairing. And that's why Ferrari have kind of dropped out the limelight. Leclerc and Gasly, 5th and 6th. Not much to write home about there. Tell you who can write home a lot. Count them, my lot. 7th in the Aston Martin. Thrashing Mercedes, who, again, let's just laugh at them for a second. Yuki in 9th, Latifi in 12th. Just laugh, nice, move on, because the Mercedes fans are crying. Sainz does well in the Alpha Tauri, but he retires. Because, you know, if you're at Alpha Tauri near the end of your career, you just got to retire because something's gone wrong. Who fills his spot? Giovinazzi. I'm going to warn you, this is the beginning of the end for AlphaTauri. I feel like if a team signs Giovinazzi, something's gone wrong. Because, like, I love him. He's just not very good. Right? There's no more. That's the whole thing. Luca Giotto joins Alfa Romeo to replace him. Also, this year is the first year where it's not Haas or Alfa Romeo at the bottom. It is Alpine with Mazepin and Ticktum. I mean, there is going to be a lot of violence in that team because those are both drivers who are quite well hated. El Plan, 2029. Same old Lando freaking Norris. 2-time world champion. McLaren, 2-time constructor champions. 2028 and 2029, the golden years. It's like Germany in 1925. That's right. I know history. Lando Norris and Mick Schumacher whitewash the championship in 1st and 2nd. It's actually Noah's Ark all the way down. So, you know, you got Red Bull, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Mercedes. Again, Alpine poor, but Luca Giotto's inexperience means that they no longer come last, and El Plan is back, and they're on their way to the top with 1 season to go. That's right, 1 season left. Who will win the final championship? Will it be George, Max, Mick, Lando, Charles, Pierre? It will be Mick Schumacher. In season 10, Mick wins, becoming champion. McLaren's 3rd in a row. McLaren winning the Constructors again, and Red Bull dropping right off to 6th and 7th for George and Max, and 4th in the Constructors. Aston Martin, particularly Callum Ilott, moving right on up. I bet if there was a few more seasons, Ilott would be fighting for a championship. But yeah, Ferrari back into 2nd, Leclerc close to the championship, Gasly hot on his tail, but Lando separates them and gives McLaren the championship. So in that final season, a lot goes down. Mercedes just plummet like a sack of potatoes, and Yuki and Nicholas are an absolute embarrassment to the community. Tell you who's not an embarrassment to the community: Gunther Steiner has finished 5th. What a fairy tale. Jack Aitken and Robert Schwartzman 9th and 11th. And I mean, that is beautiful things to see right there. Haas in 5th. Haas beat Mercedes. You couldn't write this stuff, as I said. So there you have it. There's 10 seasons. Lots of people wanted it. When I did this last time, it got 50k views. So if we could just, triple that or something, that'd be all right. Here's the review. Hamilton 1 championship. Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Norris 2 championships. Mick 1, and McLaren get 2. Ferrari get 3. Red Bull get 4. That's what's going to happen in 2030. As I said, it's not a prediction. It's a simulation. Get a grip and don't complain in the comments. Have a good one.